Hey everybody, it's Josh Dell'Aria here from Josh Dell'Aria's Musical Escapades. I know you guys are probably used to me just reviewing songs one by one, but I wanted to do something a little different today, and instead of sharing a song, I'm going to share an opinion with you guys. I'm obviously still going to do the song reviews, but I figured you guys might enjoy something a little bit different and a little bit shorter. So I'm going to say something that's really controversial. Popular music is no longer popular. Of course, there are still the Rihannas and the Katy Perrys and the Justin Biebers and all the popular artists that you hear on mainstream radio. And yes, they're technically the most popular out of everybody, but even though I have no concrete proof of this, I still have a hunch that they're not as well liked in these days as the most popular artists 20, 30, 40 years ago were in their time. See, there's a difference between liking something because you're told to and liking something because you want to. People in our society no longer want to be told what to like. I was actually watching a video from YouTuber Thoughty2 a couple weeks ago, and I'll link his video in the description. But the basic premise of what he was talking about was why popular music isn't really good anymore. And one of the things he was talking about was how music used to be publicized. So in the old days, back in the 60s and 70s, record labels would take chances on particular singers and musicians in order to give them airplay and all that sort of stuff. They would actually pay them the money up front to try to get the airplay and get them, get a name for themselves and try to get it into the public's ears so that the public could decide whether or not they actually liked the musician. And if the public did, then they continued on with the company. But if not, the company did lose a little bit of money. Nowadays, that process is so expensive that if an artist didn't work out, it could literally cost the record company millions of dollars. So record companies aren't really willing to take that chance anymore. So what they're now doing instead is trying to make sure that they make songs that you like. Now, how do they know that you're going to like these songs? Well, in all honesty, because they're familiar to you. So what many major record labels have done is they've actually made music that all pretty much sounds the same. They use a lot of the same techniques and a lot of the same rhythms and a lot of the same melodies so that it sounds familiar to you. The problem with that is that because they're all doing the same thing and nobody is really experimenting with anything, they're all lacking creativity and they all sound the same. And we the people are getting tired of hearing the same type of music over and over and over and over and over again. As a result, more and more people have been turning away from popular radio in favor of independent radio. And this proliferation in independent radio has led to a proliferation in independent artists as well. So that's why you see artists like Jason Isbell and Sarah Jarosz and the Deer Hunter rise so strongly in popularity over the last decade or so. Now, for me personally, I knew that independent music existed as early as 2009 when I started doing top 20s and I found all sorts of unknown and obscure music, but I never realized that musicians actually made a career out of it until 2013 when I first heard the Appetizer radio show. And yes, I'm going to put a link to that in the description as well because it rocks. And the host of that show, D. Grant Smith, actually wrote a book about getting airplay and building a fan base. And one of the most important things that he mentioned is that it's not necessarily that you want to have a million fans that will come and get one thing from you and basically listen to you a couple times on Pandora and then disappear from you. What you want to build is a small base of people who absolutely love you and will get anything that you put out, any albums, any t-shirts, sweatshirts, whatever the case, you name it, they'll buy it. And so that's really the key to becoming an independent musician and being able to rely on that income. If you find an appeal to those fans, you won't need anybody else to rely on. Therefore, you don't have to bother trying to sound like Justin Bieber or Selena Gomez or Rihanna or Katy Perry or Bruce Springsteen even, or James Taylor even, because you would sing your music better than you would sing any of theirs, and your fans would love you more for singing your music instead of theirs. That's all I got for you guys for today. I really hope that helps, especially if you're kind of struggling at this point to kind of get a little bit of popularity or get a sense of who you are. I hope it makes sense for you guys. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Am I right? Am I wrong? Does it really matter to you? Whatever. And as always, if you're a musician and you want to get your featured on the show, please do feel free to reach out to me. My email address here is joshdell'ariasmusicalescapades@gmail.com. And on Facebook, we are at facebook.com/JoshD'sMusicalEscapades. And until next time, go make great music, everybody.